Machine learning happens from data, and so let's look at data, information, and knowledge real quick. So, data is important. Data, we see it as a string of bits, numbers, or symbols. But more accurately, they're called objects. And this is what we collect every day. That's the whole reason why um, organizations collect data. They collect data about their customers, let's say financial institutions, banks, insurance companies create data, who their customers are, how much money they have in their account, what are they spending on, or what insurances they're purchasing. Other retail stores and other commercial businesses would collect data about their products and services and who their customers are and what are they likely to buy. So others, yet governments and educational institutions would collect data about people's taxes or the population and demographics, or educational institutions collect data about students and their grades and the classes that they learn. Medical institutions collect data about their patients, their diseases, and how to heal them, their different treatments and medications. Everybody's collecting data these days. We got social networks collecting data on our friends and things we enjoy to do in our social activities. That's data. Once we start analyzing the data, we can obtain information from the data. Information is a higher level data that is stripped from redundancy and it is reduced to minimum necessary to characterize the data and to start make sense of this data as a human being. If we just look at a bunch of Facebook data that was collected on friends and pictures and it's stored as a huge text file with millions of lines of text, it's hard to us to make sense of it. That's why we have machine learning algorithms and codes that automatically run through this data and say, hey, people that live in the zip code are friends because they went to high school together, or they like to, wear red colors or go to the beach together. So this is already information. And then knowledge is the reason why all this data is collected to help the organization to accomplish their goal, whether that is to heal the patients for medical institutions, to provide better education for colleges and universities, whether that is to make more profits for financial institutions and retail shops, and so on. But the knowledge extracted or the wisdom is why we collect this data. It is the reason why we have machine learning algorithms, is so we can gain some advantage from the data. Here's the raw data, how it looks like. That's the medical data. It tells whether this patient has a virus or bacteria based on their medical exam. So machine learning algorithm can look through a data like this and determine automatically place the diagnosis of a patient. Hey, you have bacteria or you have a virus. And by the way, here's the medication that you need to take. So we have data, information, knowledge extracted from the data. And that's the whole reason why we have these machine learning methods that we are studying. So machine learning methods would interpret and evaluate the discovered knowledge. And hopefully, after we discover it, we will put the results into practical use. But before we can do these machine learning methods, we need to collect and pre-process the data and prepare it for mining or for analysis. And that is called data cleaning or data preparation. So there really is an entire process to machine learning and artificial intelligence, from creating the data set, um, pre-processing or preparing it for analysis by supplying missing values, eliminating noisy data, doing normalizations or transformations, and then select the machine learning method that we'll be using, whether that's regression, classification, clustering, decision trees, neural networks. Select the method that we want. Run the method, extract the knowledge, and then we can do testing to determine the accuracy of the discovered results. Finally, we refine the knowledge and decide what is the useful part of the knowledge that we extracted. What is the knowledge? What is the wisdom? How can we use this, what we discovered from the machine learning, advantage, whether that's going to heal the patients or improve the education or make more profits or whatever our task is. So, in order to do this kind of uh, machine learning, data needs to be collected, and as we mentioned, it's collected by businesses, by scientists, by social networks, and governments. So there are a number of machine learning methods that exist. We have classification methods. They will find descriptions of predefined classes. For example, patient has a virus or bacteria. Regression will map the data item to a real value prediction variable. Clustering will identify a finite set of categories or clusters to describe the data. Let's say those flowers that we saw earlier, Iris setilosa, Iris virginica, where we have done clustering on them. And then we have dependency modeling, summarization. So these are some classical machine learning methods that exist. Here's a decision tree that will classify a cell into class healthy or class cancer. And here's a neural network. Same thing, classifies into class healthy or class cancer. All right. I would like to briefly, before we end this session, I would like to briefly look at the announcement that we will post